Hello, nieces and nephews. Welcome to week 18. Oh, yeah. And it is Cook Week. Yes, the week that we do something that has to do with cooking. Now, what? Also, we have 5 crazy things. You'd never thought I had 5 crazy things, but there's going to be 5 crazy things from Uncle Bill's house that have to do with cooking. First thing to do with cooking is most of the time I'm flying by the seat of my pants when I cook. I rarely pull out a recipe, but when you have a recipe, you want to have it on a recipe card or on the internet. Believe it or not, we actually used to write these things down. This is one of the recipes that I'm thinking of doing this week. Why don't I pull it out so you can see it better without so much reflection off the side of it from my computer. Here we go. Pralines and praline grams. And that was from 1989. Hi, Bridget. Great to see you here. We're just getting started. This is number 1. I'm sharing about 3x5. Everything seems to be 3x5 in Uncle Bill's life. It's 3x5 recipe cards. That's number 1. A great thing to have in your kitchen. Also, you could have it in a box, something like this. This is my YouTube box, which has all my secrets about YouTube. Would people like to steal that? Now, Uncle Bill has been doing something that he never does. No, actually, I do it every day almost. I was out shopping, and another thing, this is number 2 here. I picked up a ton of colored pens. Hi, Andrew. Great to see you. And you guys can hear me okay, I hope. Anyways, colored pens. Whenever you're writing out a recipe or you're doing your diary, you might want to change it up a little bit and have different colors. I remember up until the age of probably 20, I thought nothing but blue was the best thing to go with, because blue meant pen for some reason to me. Then I joined the military, and then it was black for many years. So number 2, colored pens, lots of fun. Number 3, because I was at my favorite store, that's where I got those pens, was at the Dollar Tree. And at the Dollar Tree, you can never go, and it's $1.25 tree now, but you can't just do one thing at the Dollar Tree. So I had to get one of these. I've been seeing them before. What this is a circular cutter. It doesn't really have a whole lot to do with cooking. Maybe you could cut out coupons with it, but it's really cool. You just slide this little thing down, and now it can cut, or you can slide it back up, and now it's got the guard in place. Very sharp. Cut my coupons with that thing. Now, into the good stuff that really has nothing but things to do with cooking. Number 3, I don't know why I did this a couple of years back, but I got rid of literally 2 full boxes of cookbooks because I was like, oh, Uncle Bill is going to get rid of some of the clutter. And so I got rid of half of my DVD collection, which was probably a good idea. But I also got rid of half of my cookbook collection, which was not a good idea. But the problem is they were all holding their place out in the garage, most of them. This one, I saw this weekend. It's soup galore. I might be doing a recipe out of this. I'm not sure. There was a great corn chowder in here that I might mess with cooking and cookbooks and all this stuff. There's so much milk in the corn chowder recipe that I might switch it up some, use maybe soy and soy flour and tapioca for starch. Who knows what Uncle Bill's going to do? What is that, number 3 or 4? I can't remember, but here's some more. Rice cooker book, the ultimate rice cooker book. Not just rice cooker book, but the ultimate rice cooker book. This one caught my eye. I can't remember which recipe it was in here, but they're all good. Oh, I know what it was. It was a dumpling recipe. And I got oh, wait a second. Actually, I think I might have had it right at it. I can't remember. But the chicken, it was turkey dumplings. I'm sorry. Turkey dumplings. They had a recipe in here for turkey dumplings. And I got reading through the recipe and I was thinking, well, they were calling for biscuit dough, the Poppin' Fresh kind. And I was like going, last time I looked at Poppin' Fresh dough, it was $4 for a little tube of that stuff. Why pay for that kind of convenience when Uncle Bill knows how to make dough? So obviously, if I do that recipe, I'm going to modify it some. And there was another Fix and Forget It cookbook. This is number 4. I love, if you can figure it out, Uncle Bill loves cookbooks. I also love, and number 5 is allrecipes.com. That doesn't cost a thing. They have all sorts of recipes. They have slow cooker turkey dumplings. And actually, I think this is the one that had all of the stuff that I was like going, man, by the time I'm done with this recipe, it's going to cost me a fortune. First off, we need 2 cans of condensed cream of chicken soup. That's not too bad. So that might be $1.25 a can. And everything seems to be a can. 1 can of chicken broth. I think I could make some chicken and have some broth. 1 1/2 cups chopped cooked turkey. That might be a little difficult to get a hold of. So Uncle Bill will substitute chicken thighs for turkey. 1 cup chopped potatoes. 1 cup chopped carrots, more to taste. 1/2 cup of onion. Oh, 1/2 onion, I'm sorry. 2 tablespoons of butter, pinch of garlic, and pinch of poultry seasoning, and 1 10-ounce, can be refrigerated. Here's the one. Yeah, this is the one with the biscuit dough. Now they're talking about getting the Pillsbury Grands dough. Now, why can't people just have the old kind of recipes? And I was thinking, oh, old recipes. And then I went to this one, which I was showing you earlier. Andrew, great to have you here. I wonder where everybody else is today. And I was starting to look through these recipe cards, and they're calling for Bisquick. They're calling for all sorts of ingredients that aren't, flour, baking soda, yeast, salt, pepper. Everything is a convenience in the kitchen. Uncle Bill does like convenience, though. However, Uncle Bill does not like paying an arm and a leg for convenience and generating garbage. When you buy that Pillsbury dough, there's the 2 ends on that can, which are made out of metal, and the cardboard, which goes into the trash. These things all take up landfills, everything else. When you buy a 5-pound sack of flour, what do you have? Just the paper. That's it. Paper, flour. You eat the flour, the paper gets thrown out, actually recycled, because it goes into the recycle bin. My case exactly. Hope you're recovering well. Oh, Bridget has been doing very well. She was complaining a bit today, and I'm going to give her a call after the live, and we're going to talk and decide whether we go to the hospital, whether not to go to the hospital, whether we just check with the groups and check to see what she's doing, not doing, all that good stuff. The one we really need to pray for, I got a letter from today. And my oldest, yes, prayers, definitely. That is a subject for another day. And, I'm sure she probably would be climbing all over me if she knew I even mentioned her. Now, this cookbook here, Fix It and Forget It, I thought this was going to be a great cookbook. They had one in here. There was, I can't remember what it was, but it had carrots. And they were talking about pre-cooking the carrots before putting it in. I can see pre-cooking chicken or something like that going into a slow cooker. Although the truth is, Uncle Bill has cooked chicken in a slow cooker from ground zero, frozen. If you leave it in there long enough, it's going to cook. Vegetables, if you cook them before you put them in there, they're going to overcook. Now, why recipes? Doesn't anybody like crunchy vegetables anymore? I mean, I'm 65 years old. I still like a good crunched vegetable. My teeth are still here, so I want to crunch them. And speaking of teeth, it's funny because every time I see my oncologist, he's always like, "Oh, it's amazing you still have all your teeth." And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, dude." It's fun world we live in. Andrew, I hope everything's doing well on the other side of the pond. We're starting to have some shortages in food and whatnot, but it really isn't that much. I mean, people complain about it, but the truth is it's just we're losing some of our vast array of selection. I remember growing up, when we walked into a grocery store, there was 2 types of bread, maybe some flour, a couple of different types of soda. There wasn't much selection back then. We're just going back to those days. Shortages, there aren't many here. Now, in other parts of the country, there's people complaining about it like crazy. And Bridget will give you cuddles. And Andrew's probably giving you cuddles too. And let's see, what else should we talk about with cooking this week? Now, it is a toss-up between I'm thinking of doing grams, the praline grams. I tried them a couple of years back, like about 10 or 15 years back. I've had my recipes for a while, and they turned out pretty decent. Maybe I could have followed the recipe better. It's either grams or maybe soup or maybe something in the slow cooker. The chicken and dumplings really, well, turkey and dumplings, but I'm going to call it chicken and dumplings. But chicken and dumplings would be an interesting thing for me to have for this Friday and release. The cooking recipe video will be going out on Bill Dube Cooks, because I've taken the 5 things that Uncle Bill does, which is cook, camp, create, critique, and climb, and separated it into 5 separate channels this year. Kind of an experiment. We'll give it a year or 2 to grow and see how it works. Andrew, speaking of people, I hope that your mom is doing well and that things are going great for her and you, and that the carpal tunnel isn't bothering you as much. And my mouth is dry. Hey, speaking of health, Uncle Bill just found something that I've gotten 2 nights sleep. Yay! Many of you know that I use a CPAP, and I use just the nose mask, which just goes over your nose. If you open up your mouth while you're sleeping, then the air shoves up your nose and comes out your mouth and dries out everything. You don't even realize it. You just all of a sudden wake up and you're like, my mouth is so dry, I feel like I just ate the Sahara. I decided, okay, I'm going to get one of those chin things that holds my mouth shut. What a difference. It just works like a champ. Not only that, I took a nap this morning because I just needed a little bit more energy for the day because I got some bad news. And that chin strap, I put the chin strap on, I put my mask on, I put my shades on, took an hour nap, and I felt great. It's amazing the difference a good sleep will do for you. And the funny thing is about that, sleeping is so important, yet gradually we lose our good sleep habits. And because it's gradual, you don't even realize that you're not getting good sleep until all of a sudden you get some good sleep and you're like, whoa, now I got some energy. And that is the way it is even with the CPAP. If you're not using your CPAP properly, usually most people, when they first get a CPAP, it's like, my God, this thing is trying to kill me. And then they fall in love with it because it starts to actually help. But when you first get it, it's like an over-enthusiastic lifeguard at the beach and you just drowned because it just shoves air down your head like crazy. What about a popcorn video? I could do a popcorn video, and I was actually thinking of doing a popcorn and creative video one of these days. With doing popcorn in an air popper, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is they blame the hot air popper and they don't realize that they've loaded it wrong. And yes, you can load a hot air popcorn maker wrong. I found this out through trial and error time and time again. Most popcorn makers say put a 1/4 cup in. Well, a 1/4 cup is actually not enough for most popcorn makers. Now, what happens is if you don't have enough kernels in the popcorn maker, when they start popping, they'll pop right out of the kernel, right out of the popcorn maker, and they will push out a couple of uncooked popcorn kernels. Not a couple. And if you get just the right amount, half of your popcorn is, the uncooked kernels go into your popcorn bowl, which it's not too good for your teeth, especially when you chomp on them hard. Now, if you overfill it, it'll overheat. But if you get just the right combination, then what happens is the kernels are, they pop, but they don't pop out any kernels. And then you get a layer of popped kernels on top, which have like a layer there, so that all of the additional popped kernels are pushing out popped kernels instead of seeds. And you don't want the hard popcorn in your mouth because it'll break your teeth. I have done this in the past where you can actually take 2 teaspoons of unpopped popcorn kernels, take the top off the shoot off the top. If you guys want, I can go get my popcorn maker and show you because we actually have enough time. And you can take the top off and just put a grease splatter shield over the top to make sure that none of the popcorn gets out of there. You pop it all the way, and then unplug the popcorn maker and then just dump it out. You have a single serving of popcorn because it holds about 1 cup of popcorn popped inside of your popcorn maker. What about popcorn video? Well, I guess that nobody wanted me to go get it, so I'm going to stay right here. Yes. No, the shortages really in my area in San Diego are almost non-visible. Uh, you know, but that can change overnight. The truckers are not trucking as much as they used to. So let's see, so bad out there. The shortages are not so bad out there. You're lucky cooking oil is. Yes, and the reason I was watching KPBS about cooking oil, and it's specifically, if I remember, it's sunflower seed oil, and I didn't know that Lithuania is a major supplier of sunflower seed oil. So there's your answer is we can all thank Russia. Thank you, Russia. And that is be the last bit of political satire in this broadcast by me. And you can only buy 2 liters now. They say chicken is going to cost more than beef. I can believe that. And you know what? Chicken's better. Well, yeah, chicken's better than beef for you. So, yeah, it's too bad that that's going to cost more. And wow. And I have my soy. I bought a 12-pound thing of soy curls only to find out that soy is a product that Uncle Bill should not be eating because soy promotes female hormones, which promote female tissue growth, which is because I'm BRCA2, which is just like Bridget, which is just like Barbara and Brenda. My whole family is BRCA2 from me down. And so we all got to deal with it. And yeah, the shortages are here. But Andrew, just think of the challenges involved, though. You can think of substitutes for all of the things. Hopefully, do they have coconut oil available to you in the EU? That is a great substitute for a lot of things. We get the 70%, and yes, we get 70% of sunflower from there and 60% of your wheat. Wow. Yeah, Russia, well, I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. We all have our opinions on how that would go, and it's just sad. I mean, it's like we've gone back a full century, really, when you come to think of it. This is 2022, 1922. That's when things started getting really goofed up last century, too. Maybe it goes every 100 years. We have a little dictator that just wants to cause all sorts of trouble in the world. Coconut oil, like we discussed before, you can use that as a substitute for butter. If you put enough garlic in there to just overpower the taste of the coconut, then it's pretty close to butter, at least in my opinion. It has a lot. It's really good for frying, and you'll be able to substitute it for a lot of sunflower seed oil things. And my mouth is just super dry. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Other plans for this week. Also, I'm going to catch up on a critiquing. Oh, do I have one here? I got to share these things. I just bought 5 of these from Amazon. And if I was to get it again, I'd probably buy the 15 pack for instead, because what these are shopping bags that you can use for when you go shopping. And very sturdy, holds a lot. Now, Andrew, you wanted to know about my other bags, which I have for produce, and I've been very happy with them. I have both the nylon versions and just nylon in here. I also purchased cotton produce bags. These I thought would be a lot lighter than the cotton ones, but the cotton ones and these are about the same weight. The only thing is I don't know. Yes, it's more environmentally friendly to get the cotton ones. However, what a lot of people are forgetting is these won't hold on to anything from the food. Like, say, for example, you have an overripe apple or orange and it gets juice all over this. You can just rinse it off and you're all set, ready to go. With cotton, you're going to have to put it in the washer and wash it, and then you got the wash cycle. And my kids will probably be able to use these after I'm long gone because they'll probably still be going. Who knows? We'll never know. So I'm sharing those. And that was like, what, number 7 and 8. Uncle Bill's sharing all sorts of stuff from his house today. Oh, I knew there was one other thing that I wanted to share. I got all sorts of things I forgot. You know, maybe it's the dementia kicking in. I finally put it in. 3-year warranty, my new InSinkErator garbage disposal. I was so sad because I had one that was stainless steel, or at least I thought it was advertised as such. Actually, I know it wasn't because it was rusted out just like all the other ones. But it lasted like about 12 years. This one only has a 3-year warranty. The other one had a 5-year warranty. It was a little smidge better. However, they didn't make it anymore. It's the InSinkErator 333. And because they were different garbage disposals, I had to replace the plumbing and get different plumbing. But I've got it down to a system now. So it's not going to be that hard next time. I took my Evernote, and Evernote is a website that you can keep notes on, hence the name Evernote. And they do have free use of the site that you can get. And I'm a firm advocate of getting free whenever you can. So I made a card that has all about garbage disposal replacement. One is make sure to have the switch done. And if anybody else is in the house, I'm going to switch it and put a piece of tape over it so they don't go and flick it on while I'm working on it. Then I have to take the wires out of the old garbage disposal because I have the kind of garbage disposal where you actually wire right into the garbage disposal with some wire nuts, which I'll recycle. And it's pretty easy to put in a new garbage disposal, especially with a collar, the flip collar. They always try to make plumbing sound like it's so complicated. It's not really as complicated as you would think. And I'm probably looking at the wrong, yep, just like I thought. That sneaking clock I have right over here, that is a good minute and a half behind. So I have to make sure that I look more at my computer. Don't you hate being off as far as time goes? Time, we all have the same amount of it. Now here's the riddle. What day do you not have the same amount of time as everybody else? On the day you are born and on the day you die, you have less time than other people. You can pull that riddle on anybody you know, and it's less than a minute right now. Thank you, Bridget. And this has been just an amazing broadcast. And we have Low Tech letting us know that it's time to go. I love you all. Have a great week. We're going to be cooking this week. I don't know exactly what. I'll probably talk to Bridget after this broadcast, and we're going to decide what should Uncle Bill cook. I know what Bridget's going to say. Cook me something. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye-bye. And now I have to hit the stream, and now it's gone. Love you all. Bye.